What's up everybody? In today's video I'm just going to be doing a very basic MyLeague or MyNBA setup in 2K26. It's a very small guide and look into some of those settings. Without further ado, let's get right into it. The first thing you're going to want to do is just head over to this MyNBA tab and then click the first option. All these others are just kind of poor versions of it. You're going to want to go ahead and start a new save file. Load in here. Here are the eras. You can do some pretty interesting things going back to the Magic and Bird era in like 83. Those can be a lot of fun, but for the sake of today's video, I'm just going to be doing the modern era. Let's load right in here. This is the setup options tab. I would not touch this tab if you're going to be doing a very basic rebuild, so I just leave this how it be. The second tab here is the advanced CBA rules. I would immediately turn off the Stepien rule and the 30-60-90 rule. These rules prevent you from trading multiple first-round picks in multiple years and players you just traded for. So yeah, I'd immediately turn these ones off. The third tab here is going to be role-playing elements. I would turn off yearly directives and then morale and team chemistry. The reason I would turn off morale and team chemistry especially is because if you take some to players and then trade for multiple others, it takes it to a sort of unrealistic point, so I turn those off. The next tab is automating off-season time periods. I don't touch anything here. You could if you want to make it sim a little bit faster, but it takes half a second to sim these anyways, and I like to see some of them. So that's it for this tab. On to the next. FIBA, NBA Cup, I leave B. Online, I don't touch Zell at all. And for budget and finance, you can turn hard cap off if you're worried about like really high salaries, but I leave it on to keep it as realistic as possible. But if you sign for as many players as possible, then you might want to turn hard cap off. This last tab is a start from tab. If you start in the regular season here, it starts you before the 2025-2026 season, so I always just start from today, or off season. They're the same at this point because we are past the season. I don't update rosters anymore. Now you can go to team select. You can select all, none. I'm just going to pick the Suns here because it's my favorite game. So we're going to load right in. So once you load in here, it's going to put us right at the end of the season with the Knicks winning the championship. First thing it'll ask is to load or download a draft class or auto-generate. I always load and download the first couple. Very cool thing here is the historic draft classes. If you did like a full rebuild, 2K has those draft classes already in up until 2025. So that can be cool, but for this, I just use user created 2026, the top one. You could search ones that are more accurate or up to date, but I always just click the top one, Yoda Kelmer. For a realistic rebuild, I always come down to options and then settings and then general right before this. I always turn off injuries here. This is just so that, you know, when you trade for players, you obviously don't want them to be injured, ruins your seasons. That's, you know, preference, but I always turn them off. The last setting I always touch is in options here, and then you're going to want to go to sliders and then trades. You go down to the Stepien rule. For some reason, you watch us turn it off, but 2K turns it on sometimes, so I always just make sure. If you load settings, then it should also be off. These are my basic settings here. If you want to use those are just the settings we use from this video. So alright, that's going to be the end of this video. Please take the time to subscribe and then comment any questions you have, any future how-tos you want to know. I also have done a setup post-NBA draft that kind of makes it accurately to the day. I'll attach that video at the end here. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Like and subscribe, comment, and any advice. Goodbye, and thank you for watching.